Aloha, my friend. This is Billy Wigley coming at you live from the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. How's it going today? That's an original tune I'm working on. You know, I've only been playing the ukulele for like 3 months, but just gotta keep practicing, practice. Like that's how you pass your Microsoft Office Specialist exam is by practicing, practicing. And what are you going to practice? Well, you're going to practice on your practice tests. That's how I passed the Microsoft Office Specialist exam, and that's how I've been passing it since 2012. All right, now, so here's what we've been doing this week. You've been watching the live streams explaining the process of becoming a Microsoft Office Specialist, what a Microsoft Office Specialist is, what a Microsoft Certified Trainer is, and the like. So here we are. So let's check this out. If you when you look down below in the description, not right now, later, or you can now too, I guess, you'll see that I've got some links in here for you. So you've got this link right here, find your Microsoft certification. That's going to take you right to the Microsoft website, the page where you're going to be able to, you know, see what certification you're looking for. So you're going to say, hey, I wanted an Office and I wanted it to be in Excel. I mean, you can choose whichever Microsoft Office Specialist you want to be. You can be MOS, you can be an MOS Master, which means you've got multiple Microsoft Office Specialist certifications, PowerPoint, Word, Excel Expert or Word Expert, and Outlook, and so forth. So let's just keep applying these filters, certification. And here we go. Here we have the Microsoft Office Specialist Expert. Okay. And that's for Office 365 and 2019. And it tells you right here that these are the exams you have to take to get this. This means you're an expert in Microsoft Office in general. All right. Now here's the one that I chose, which is a Microsoft Office Specialist, Microsoft Excel Expert. That one, the MO201. So you can decide which one it is that you want to pick, that one or this one right here, the MO200, which is the Excel. It's like the Excel, Microsoft Office Specialist in Excel Basics. And then once again, this one right here is the one that, you know, you take various exams and then you're like, ooh, you know, Microsoft Office 365. I don't know if that one makes you a master. You have to check. But let's say you want to go with the Microsoft Excel Expert. And I'm only clicking on the Expert because that's the practice exam that I'm going to show you. Because that's what I have, is the Expert. Because I'm a Microsoft Certified Trainer. So anyways, here's your Microsoft Office Specialist description. And check it out. You can just download the certification skills outline. And these are the competencies that you have to know so that you can pass the exam. So to pass the exam the way that I've been passing it, you have to take a practice test, and the practice test is going to help you practice, you know, these skills right here, all of these. So let's say that you've gone to Get Certified America, like I've been talking about this week. You said, hey, you know, schedule now, and you scheduled your exam. You've got your voucher, you got your practice exam, everything. Now you're going to start using your practice exam. Let's say that you got your voucher someplace else. You didn't go to Get Certified America, and you've scheduled your exam someplace else. I recommend these guys, Get Certified America. They're the ones that I used, and I like their customer service. But let's say that you already have a voucher. You just need to schedule the exam. Well, you can just schedule the exam with them. That's it. It's $35. But let's just say that, you know, I got it all taken care of. I just need the practice test. Well, for the practice test, you're going to go right here to Gmetrics, okay? Gmetrics.com. And I find it interesting that these are all the top 5 most popular tests that people are taking. Look at that. There's the Microsoft Word. I used to teach at Microsoft Word, Advanced Word. Word is pretty awesome. Those of you that use Word a lot, you know there's so many features to it. Just like all of them. I mean, these programs are amazing. But we're focused on Excel here. So at Gmetrics, let's say that you just need the practice exam. You don't need a voucher. You don't need anything. Just a practice exam. Well, go right here to Gmetrics. They make the best. And I think they're probably the only one that does it. The same ones I've been using since. Check this out. In 2012, May 2012, is when I got my first Microsoft Office Specialist certificate. And it was in Excel 2010. Once I got that certificate, I started making more money. I started getting booked more to do more trainings by my clients. And I started making more money. And more than likely, you're going to get a raise too. And you're more valuable. This was in May 2012. And then the very next year in March 2013, I went and got the Microsoft Office Specialist Expert in Excel. And then I was hooked because there's so many benefits that you get. And then I got my Microsoft Certified Trainer, and things just kept getting better from here. And then I've been the Microsoft Certified Trainer since 2013. And then this is the most recent one, the Microsoft Office Specialist Excel Expert. Cool, yeah? All right, you can put that in your office, up on your wall someplace. People come in there and ask you a lot of questions. And you keep people from asking you too many questions when you're sitting at your desk at work. Get a headset. And you're wearing a headset, and when somebody comes in, they usually go, "Hey, you got a second?" When you stop them, you got to go. And then people go, "Ooh, sorry," and they leave you alone. You don't have to be talking to anybody. Just have a headset. All right, and then here's my most recent Microsoft Certified Trainer 2020-21 right here. I like it. All right, so you're going to get your practice exam right here at Gmetrics. You're going to be Microsoft Office Specialist, and then you can choose which one you want. And in this case, let's just go with Excel Expert because that's the one I'm going to demo. And here we have it. So you can also get a full suite if you're going to go for the master, where you're going to take multiple certification exams. You can get the one that has all of them in it. But here we are. This is the Gmetrics Excel Expert. This is the one that I'm going to demo for you because it's the one that I got, and it's $40. When you buy it from Certiport, it's $42. When you buy it from them, it's $40. When you buy it from Get Certified America, it's the same price as Gmetrics. All right, so then there you have it. Now let's demo it. And to demo it, but before we do that, I want you to be a VIP. So remember to go to don'tgetmadgetskills.com, and let's see. Oh, here's a shortcut for Get Certified America right here. And then this shortcut right here, this one's the one that's going to make you a VIP. I want you to be a VIP. So when you go to my website, you can just click on that link right there. Click on it, and it's going to take you right here to don'tgetmadgetskills.com to the landing page where you can become a VIP. So here, you're going to go right ahead and make yourself a VIP today. And this course right here is my #1 selling course on Udemy. It's got over 10,000 students. And it's all shortcuts, tips, and tricks that I've been accumulating over the years, from teaching Excel to thousands and thousands of people just like you, all winners. And so this Friday, I'm going to release this course, make it open to all the VIPs, and it's going to be free for you. Why free? Well, because I use a lot of shortcuts when I'm teaching, and I want you to be able to keep up, and I don't always stop and tell you, look, I just used this shortcut. So by having this course, you can follow along with everything that I'm teaching you. So make yourself a VIP today. Now let's go ahead and switch screens, and let's go to the Gmetrics SMS 7 tool. Boom. So here we are. All right. So there you have it. This right here is Gmetrics. Okay. when you purchase your test, this is what you have right here. Let's go to the dashboard. This is the dashboard, and you can start a new test. You've got study guides to help you study, and you've got me to help you out all the time. But let's just say that you are going to, these are all the different study guides that they have. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I like this. I've been using it, like I said, since my first certification in 2012. Let's start a new test. And it's Office 2019, Excel Expert. That's whatever you purchase is what's going to be showing up right here. And there's a different ways for you to practice. If you notice, we've got a concept review 1, you got concept review 2, then you got skill review 1, skill review 2, and then right here you've got the practice test. There's a practice exam 1 and practice exam 2. Two different ones for you to practice with different questions that get, they alternate them, they randomize them. So let's take a look. All of these, the practice tests, the skill reviews, the concept reviews, there's a training mode and a testing mode. In the training mode, it helps you. Let's take a look at concept review right here, training mode. And here it's asking you to do true or false. And this is not how the real test looks, okay? This is just preparing us for the real test. The practice exams that come with this are like the real test. But here's just concept reviews. So this one says true or false. Let's make it a little bit bigger. True or false. In order to copy a macro from one workbook to another, its module needs to be copied from one workbook to another. Well, that's true because macros are stored in modules. So we're going to say true, and then we're going to say next, and it says, yes, your answer is correct. And then we've got an explanation of it right here. And we move on to the next question. And this one says, a structured reference is a reference to a table or a section of a table in a workbook. Okay, cool. A structured reference. Let's say that you click on the name box, and then you find the name table 1, you click on it, it takes you to that section in table 1. That's called a structured reference. So in this one, the answer is true. However, we're going to make it false just so that we can see what it does when you mark it false. And remember, this is training mode, not testing mode. And your answer is not correct. And then right here, it tells us, hey, that's the real answer. Okay, so then we can just say, we're going to the next one, or we can go back and answer it correctly. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, look, when you click on this right up here, it takes us to all the different questions that we have. And it tells us which ones we've answered, which ones we haven't answered, and which ones we want to go to. So let's just say I finished this exam right here. It finishes grading it for me. And we failed. But that's not how it's going to be for you, right? We just failed because we only answered 2 questions. And it gives you all of the details right over here, how much time you spent. The normal test, the real test, is 50 minutes. Okay? And then right here it shows you, what objectives you're covering, you're doing good at, you're not doing good at. Okay? So it's not always going to be like this for you. Check it out. Let's go to review all the completed tests. And let's take a look. Right here is the actual practice exam that I did. Boom, that's you right there. That's you. When it comes time to do the practice exams, that's going to be you. And look, check out these stats right here. The allotted time they give you is 50 minutes. This particular practice exam I did in 21 minutes. Okay. You're going to be so prepared. And then when you walk in there to take the actual exam, or when you do, you're going to do it at home or at your office, and it's going to be all proctored online because of COVID. And you're going to probably take the whole 50 minutes because it's different when you're actually under the pressure. At least it was for me. I give you a tip. Don't waste your time on a question you're not sure about. Answer the ones that you know. Click, 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 click. Move forward, move through those, and then come back because you can review them. Let's go to do a new test. And we're gonna go to Office 2019, Excel Expert, and let's see what a skill review looks like. And let's go into the training mode for a skill review here. The first one I showed you was a concept review. This one is a skill review. And you got to get it set up however you like. All right, there I have it right here. All right, so here it's saying, hey, look, in the sale orders worksheet, that's this worksheet that we have right here. Map the XML table elements with the name being new orders to also overwrite the existing data. Now, this is looking like what the exam is going to look like. And I recommend that you really read these questions carefully, because what happened to me sometimes, I just read it real fast and I really want to answer it. And I think, like, I know the answer to this. And I answer it, and then I got it wrong because I just missed one little point. Like maybe I went through the whole process right, but I didn't put the right name. Like I didn't put new orders. Like it's asking right here to write new orders. Maybe I didn't do that. All right, so you got to pay close attention. Look at everything carefully. In the sale orders worksheet, that's this worksheet right here. Sometimes there's going to be multiple worksheets, okay? In the sale orders worksheet, map the XML table elements. All right. So to do that, you know that you're going to have the developer tab enabled. So you got to right click, customize the ribbon. Then you got to go to developer tab and click OK. They're going to grade you on all this. And here in the developer tab, here's your XML group. So you got to put your marquee in the data at all times. Because look, if your marquee is not in the data, this is a feature that you need to use right here, map properties. And if your marquee is not in the data, look what's happening. It's grayed out. So I'm going to put my marquee in the data, go back to developer tab, and there's map properties. See how it's now enabled, developer tab, map properties, because the marquee is in the data. So map properties, and you're going to be moving along because it's timed, right? And it says in the sale orders worksheet where we're at, map the XML table elements with the name being new order. So I just copy that right there, Control C. And then I paste it right there. And then to also, oops. Oh, when you click in it, it resizes. To also overwrite the existing data, click C. So you got to really read these carefully with the new data and adjust column width, then export current worksheet as an XML data file named new orders XML. All right, so we mapped it, click OK. And then we got to go back to the developer tab and we're going to export it as an XML data file in the Gmetrics. And that's something else. Pay close attention. Like I already mentioned, it's telling you to save it in the Gmetrics templates folder in your documents folder. So in your documents, see, here's my documents. There's a Gmetrics templates folder. It's saving it as XML type. Pay close attention, and then you got to give it the name that it's asking for, and then you export. And then we move on to the next question. What? It's incorrect. I can try again, or I can get help right over here. And here it explains to us how to do it properly. Click on the File tab, Customize Ribbon, add the Developer tab. I did it different. I used shortcuts. Go to X, map the properties. Okay, XML, Developer, map properties. In the name field, call it new orders. Under the data formatting and layout section, check the adjust column width box. And then under the when refreshing or importing data, override existing data. Boom, that's it. We did all that. Click OK. And then we go back to developer tab. And in the XML group, click the export. Locate your Gmetrics templates folder right there. And give it the name. Oh, I had to actually double click and open the folder. See? I didn't open the folder. I just selected it and just double click to open it. And then here I put new orders XML. And then we make sure that it's an XML file right here. And then click on export, just like it's telling us. Boom. So you see, I did everything right except that I didn't save it actually inside the folder. I just selected it, but I didn't open it to save it inside that folder. And then we click next and boom, boom, it's correct. Yes, and then we can continue. All right, so that is the practice mode. And you see how now it's continuing to the next question that it has for us. Create a custom property name completed. For the type, use yes or no. Well, I'm tempted to answer that. Just go to File tab, Info, Properties, Advanced Properties, and create a custom property named completed. So we will go in here and we will add. Okay, we'll add a custom property called completed. And it is type yes, no with the value set at no. Click OK. And then let's go next. What? Did you see what? Okay, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Let's try again. This time, create a custom document property name completed. File. Info, properties, advanced property, custom document property called completed. And the type, okay, so let's say it's going to be a type yes, no. The value is no. And I'm going to call it completed. Completed. The value is no. Type yes, no. Maybe I'm doing one thing wrong here. Oh, it is correct. There you go. All right. So anyways, we can go ahead and let's exit out of here. Save and exit test. Save, exit. It's going to save and then you can come back to it later. And let me go ahead and log back in here. Just 1 second. Back and let's take a look at the actual practice exam. This is what it's going to look like when you take it. So let's do the practice exam in training mode. That's with help. Start a new test. And this is what the test is going to look like. This right here, what you're about to see, is what the actual exam looks like. Right here. Okay, you're gonna have 5 projects. It's gonna be 5 or 6 projects, and they're gonna be broken down each project into tasks, and they're gonna grade you on multiple things. They're gonna grade you on how you went about performing those tasks. Did you go through every single click, or did you just use a shortcut to get there faster? And they're gonna grade you on whether you got it right or not. There's a few different things they grade you on. Okay, so once you complete all 5 tasks, you move on to, you click on grade project right here, and then you just move on to the next one. So this is the training mode. So it's got this help module on it so that it shows you all your different, shows you the answer basically. All right, so here it says sort the sales worksheet by product name. So you got to make sure you're going to the right worksheet. And so here we go to the sales worksheet. Sort the sales worksheet by product name from A to Z, and insert a subtotal that calculates the sum in the extended price column. So you got to, at each change in product name, so pay close attention to all the details. So product name, we're going to go right ahead and sort A to Z. And then in the extended price, put the marquee in the extended price. And we're going to say insert the subtotal. So that's going to be a subtotal. So we're going to go to our data tab, and it's a subtotal. And it says that at each change in product name, use the function sum and add the subtotal to the extended price right here. Click, boom, and there it is, the subtotal in the extended price, just like it's supposed to be. And then you can just click on next task. You can just grade the project when you're done. Let's see. Let's say I didn't know this one. I would skip to the next one. And then, when you grade the project, it's going to ask you to, review. Or you can just mark for review. You see all the different options you have right here. So let's just grade this project. And then now it's going to say, hey, look, you got all these wrongs. You want to retry or you want to go next? Okay. So remember, this is the practice exam with the practice exam in the training mode, not the testing mode. All right, so let me just go and say, hey, you know what? It's time for us to just get out of here. Show test summary. And here it shows you, let's say you complete the test and you got them, a whole bunch of them right, but there's a couple that you got wrong. So like, let's say that you got this number 4 wrong, click on it, and then you can just go right to that one that you missed. So, that one, let me go to that one. Okay. And then that's this particular question right over here. All right. So here, let's just go ahead and say summary, and let's finish the test. You can always save it and then come back to it later, or you can just finish it. And then right here, then you can just log back in. It does this a lot, it's, I guess maybe for security purposes. So there you have it. You can go back to your test, and then you can just view your completed test just like that. And then once you do this a few times, you go and take your exam, and then you pass it. And then within minutes, you get an email telling you, welcome to the Microsoft Office Specialist world. And you're going to be so happy that this is happening to you. All right, my friends, go ahead and keep on learning always. And you know that, as I always say to y'all, I love you. And remember, don't get mad. Get skills. Aloha.